Hey friends, remember in the previous video where I swatched the Komorebi watercolor paints and I had a little bit of playtime? Well, today in part 2, you get to see me add a layer of art on top of it. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel, and I'm your host, Fam the Fabulous. For more ideas, inspiration, swaps, and challenges, click the link in the description below to join our craft community, the Maker Exchange, on Facebook. All right, so we're on part 2 of the video. This is a continuation of last week's video. So here you see me showing a black Sharpie gel pen, and just bring it in focus. Now, I wouldn't ordinarily pull out a Sharpie. I'm not sure of whether or not it's water resistant. So it wouldn't be something that I would use for any form of artwork that I would gift or sell. Now, here you'll see me laying down a loose sketch. And I use the term sketch very loosely because I'm definitely not gifted in that area. Soon come, but for now, I'm just doing what I can with what I got, right? And so if you didn't watch the last video, there'll be a link below. But in the previous video that this is a continuation of, I unboxed, swatched, and had a little playtime with these paints. It is, again, my first official set of, something of a student or studio grade quality. And I actually love them. So going back to the sketch, I drew some box shapes and you'll see what it turns into later on. And then I drew some leaves on top. Now, I like a city vibe, right? A lot of times in the creative community, we see a lot of shabby chic and country style. And that's not really me. I'm definitely a city girl. I do live in the country, though. I do live in a rural area. But I was born and raised and spent over 35 years in a city in New York. So whenever I have the opportunity to add that inspiration to my creations, I definitely will. And seeing as how this is really just me playing and experimenting with one, with my imagination or inspiration, and two, to see what I draw out of this abstract watercolor play that I had from last week or the last video. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. Just laying some ink down on top of the watercolors. And because, again, I like the city, I'm going to add some buildings. Now, the leaves gives it a more, how do you say, fantasy. I wouldn't even say whimsical. I don't even know what you want to call that, but in my mind, they seem perfectly fine where they're at. So, don't be afraid to experiment and put in your art, what you like to see, because that's what I'm gonna do. All right, so while my camera is desperately trying to focus in on the white Jelly Roll pen that I will now be using, I would like to say hi to all the new subscribers. Our channel is constantly growing, and I do appreciate all of you guys stopping in, saying hi, dropping your comments. And for those who are new to the channel and are not already a subscriber, this is a great time to hit the subscribe button along with the notification bell so that every time I've got an upload of some type of watercolor or mixed media art, you too will be notified along with our creative community here. All right. All right. So now with this Jelly Roll pen, I am going to doodle right over some of the darker spaces because it does have the ability to add some contrast there. And it's really no rhyme or reason other than me adding it on top of the darker areas. So whether that's the cerise, I think that's how it's pronounced, the pink color, or that tealish color, or should we say turquoise. I'm just adding a few doodles here, some lines and circles. But so you guys go ahead and watch that. And while we are watching me finish up on the doodling, let me just say, one of the challenges I face, I don't know about anybody else, but one of the challenges I face is, um, unlike this set of videos, sitting down with enough time to complete a project or something that I have in my mind from start to finish, right? Now, just like this video, this is part two. And when I was editing this video, I realized I probably could have, taken two or three of those sheets and of sheets of watercolor paper, pulled them out of the pad and just sat down for 30 to 45 minutes and just laid color on those papers, and then commit in my mind to, at a later date, maybe adding the doodling on top, or for those who sketch, you could probably sketch on top. And then there's always the off chance that I could pick up a stamp and layer on top of that as well. So that part would obviously be led by however I'm inspired that day. But for all intents and purposes, what I'm saying is that this does not have to be accomplished all in one sitting. And I think that we are not doing ourselves any favors when we, in our mind, set aside time or think that we should set aside enough time to do the entire thing from start to finish. I think it's more advantageous for me to be at my table doing a little something, or right next to nothing, 30 minutes a day, than to try and set aside time on a Tuesday evening, which it may or may not happen. Um, so I think closing out this year, I'd like to spend less time trying to find time to create, and spend a little bit more time throughout the course of a week creating, whether that's in smaller time frames each morning or in the evening. But I think just being real with where I've come, um, where I'm heading right now, does require a little bit more of me paying attention as I venture into the world of watercolor painting. I can't rely on my own skill set in order to grasp the concepts and observe what I'm doing and what the paints are doing. Whereas in the past, a lot of paper crafting, it is muscle memory, all but muscle memory at this point, because I've done it for so long, utilizing it in a variety of different projects. So I hope that, and I believe that setting aside a little bit of time each morning or every evening just to sit in this creative space and work with some of the supplies that I have will enable me to focus more on the tasks that I have throughout the day without needing to hurry up and get them finished in hopes that I can get back to the creative zone. The lovely lab is calling me, so let me hurry up and wash these dishes. So yeah, no more of that. Let's try and get little baby bites of creativity going. And so I hope, if that's something that you have had experience with, or if you have found yourself just trying to get to that place so that you can spend an hour, perhaps you too can break down your time frames and, based on what the realistic expectation is for your day. Maybe you're at work 5 hours a day, but you're always up at 5 a.m. Well, let's go ahead and get 30 minutes in. You know, Before I do breakfast, I can do a little devotional and do a little bit of art journaling. And if that's something that I want to implement in my morning routines, then now that I'm thinking about it, I probably need to come into the Lovely Lab in the evenings before I go to bed and spend 5 minutes just pulling out the supplies that I want to work with. Now, let me be clear. One of the things that I have learned through this creativity journey, to limit the number of supplies that I'm working with. And by that, I mean, if I'm watercoloring, or if I am working with paper pads, DSPs, then I don't want to have 5 paper pads out. Take out one and choose from that, because when I pull out more options, I spend more time trying to make up my mind than I will actually doing the thing creating, crafting, arting, whatever you want to call it. So I think in the evenings I can spend 5 to 10 minutes in here, just pulling out the supplies, getting my area ready. And that way in the morning time when I wake up, I can just hop to it and be fulfilled in knowing that I have fed my creative soul. Friends, it's no secret. I truly enjoy sharing my work and processes with our creative community here on YouTube, where there's a ton of love and support. Many of you have been subscribers for quite a few years now, and perhaps you'd like to see a little bit more from Livie's Lovelies. Maybe some original artwork, some behind the scenes videos, or full length tutorials. If you're looking for other ways to connect or support the channel for less than a cup of caramel macchiato, you can become a monthly member of the Patreon family. Your monthly subscription also includes monthly freebies, sometimes handcrafted Livie's Lovelies originals, other times it's digitals that have not yet been made available for purchase. Those memberships enable me to purchase varying types of products that I can try out and experiment with so that I can come back and share the data and the journey with my creative community. A link is below in the description box. I look forward to seeing you all over there. Folks, I can't tell you how much I enjoyed sitting down without any clear plan as to how I wanted this page to look and just allowing my inner soul to inspire its direction. And I think the results are more than what I could have expected. What do you think? I hope this video has inspired you to try something new or take a look at where you can add a little more creativity to your day every day. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and until we're back here together on Patreon and YouTube, please stay encouraged, stay blessed, stay creative and crafting. Bye for now. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe to join the crafty community, and be sure to click the bell for notifications of new uploads. Thank you so much for watching. Now stay tuned for more from Livie's Lovelies, your inspirational craft channel. Bye for now.